Hello and welcome to Unstructured. I'm Maria.
And I'm Kauthar.
I'm Louis.
And today we have Louis, a CEO and co-founder of Pipelex, a startup building AI agents to automate business operations. And I'm especially happy to welcome Louis because it was our first customer at Hexagone. We are really happy to learn more about Pipelex and how you came up with the idea.
Hi Louis and welcome.
Hi Claudia.
Could you please tell us a bit more about Pipelex? How did you come up with it, what you're doing?
Pipelex, we're building the standard for AI workflows. So the idea is that we are building the standard for repeatable AI workflows, where you have a business process and you want it to be done every time the same way, with rules and using different AI models and transferring the business logic of solving our client's problem into an AI workflow. So if you want to repeat the method, it needs to be recorded somewhere. So the method with Pipelex is recorded with a new language. So it's an open standard language, and that's why we made Pipelex open source. So the core technology, the runtime, the Python library is open source, and the language is an open standard. So we invite the community of developers to work with us on making this a great standard. It's a declarative language, so it's meant to be able to run on any computer, any platform, any language, and we welcome the community of developers on that. Cool.
So, Louis, what made you want to co-found a startup in the AI space?
Well, I've always been an entrepreneur, and for 20 years I've been waiting for AI to be, to start doing things that seem smart and to start having fun with it. And so when OpenAI, they opened the API to GPT-3, it was in 2020, I started playing with it and I saw, okay, now this is starting to look fun. And, at the beginning it was really, not very reliable. This was 2 years before ChatGPT. So you couldn't build very serious software with it.
Yeah.
But I was in video games at the time, so I thought maybe we can do something for fun. And and then later it got much better. And when we got to ChatGPT with GPT 3.5, I knew that we could build a business on that. And I was hoping that GPT-4 would be much better and would make all of my use cases work. And that's what happened. So this kick-started our journey into AI with Pipelex.
And basically, did you see something missing in the ecosystem as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's a completely new universe. So it's like in the Wild West, or it's completely empty. There's no town. There's nothing. So it was completely empty. So I knew that this was something that we could be explore and build stuff. And what was difficult is that we had many different ideas. When it's empty, you think I'm going to build a saloon, I'm going to build a train station, or sell horses, or hardware store, and every day a new idea. You don't want to drop the idea from the day before. So we started as a consulting provider, and went to clients and see what AI could do for them. And we found some use cases. But not what everyone was doing. They were all doing a chatbot with a RAG, which was really the fashionable.
When was this exactly?
It was late 2023.
Yes. Okay.
And
I don't remember which version of ChatGPT was it.
Yeah, GPT-4 had just
GPT-4.
had come out a few months before that.
Yeah.
The original GPT-4.
So all your ideas were revolved around building on top of GPT, or did you explore other
No, really, this was the idea. And I went to see potential clients and asked them, how do you work? What is taking a lot of time? What is boring to do? What is always badly done? What are your pains? And I took that in and tried to find what we could do with AI to solve that. And we came with ideas like write a contract or extract information from documents and analyze them. And so this is where we found that there were missing tools, because we wanted to ask give a big load of work to the AI, like I write a 50-page contract. It's a huge task.
Yeah.
And if you asked GPT-4 at the time, can you write me this 50-page contract? GPT-4 would be like, yeah, no problem, and it would spit out 3 pages of hallucinations, and it would not really be what you needed. So we thought we have to make it work step by step, and like write each clause in the contract, and just write half-page clause at the maximum.
Yeah.
And so you needed to loop around on that, and there were new tools to do that.
Okay, so I see the process for Pipelex, but could you define for the audience in more details what Pipelex really does, and its earliest version also, if it's something that evolved around.
Yeah, but at the time we hadn't thought of Pipelex yet. We were just like trying to solve the problem, and so we coded step-by-step work to control the AI, and like the whole idea was GPT-4 can give us bits of intelligence like that, but if you want to get a good result, we have to make it work, make the AI work, like not just in the sense it's functioning, but in the sense that it's an effort. It takes time, it takes method. So we started to do that, and we went to different clients, different kind of companies, and always there was this need for work, and they were always the same patterns, like do a loop on that and do a review and restart. Like for instance, the AI does something, and then there's another AI that comes afterwards and looks, this was the question, this is what the AI did, is it correct, did it invent something or not? If it's perfect, 10 out of 10, we validate. If it's only a 9 out of 10, we get a comment on what's wrong, and we ask another AI to see what was done, see what the reviewer said, and now correct this, and loop around until you get 10 out of 10. And so this was generalizing to different kind of companies, from startup to law firms or large companies, banks, all of that. And so because of that, we were building tools that we could reuse from one client to the next. And so at one point I told my team, which was actually just me and another engineer, we told each other, okay, now let's stop writing any specific code for the use cases. So we were coding in Python, and I said, I don't want to see one single line of Python which is specific to a client or a use case.
Okay.
Which meant we would have to code the pattern of how to make the AI work, and all that's specific to the client and the use case had to be data, configuration, in configuration files. And that started to work and give good results, so we could, just go from one client to the next and just change the context, the information, drop in the knowledge of the client and the know-how of the client in the configuration file, and the engine would make it work. That's when we thought, okay, well, that's a new kind of tool, the tool that makes the AI work reliably.
Yeah.
And that's when we decided we would start doing consulting and build that as a product.
Cool.
And what was the biggest challenge in building Pipelex?
Well, clearly, the biggest challenge was explaining what we were doing to people.
But what kind of people? Are you talking about clients or investors?
Partners, clients, investors, family, anyone.
Well, family, yeah.
But it's like everyone was, for everyone, the AI is like a magic wand. Like, hey, you do this and it works, and so they understand how that works. They've seen Harry Potter, so that's how a magic wand works. You wave it and something happens. And so, so it can do anything, and that's what, the ChatGPT gave this impression initially.
Yes.
People thought, okay, it can do anything. And then they start checking the facts, and they see all this is wrong. And so the idea of making it work was hard to explain, but also the idea that is it a vertical startup or horizontal startup? Because once people realized that GPT-4 was not magic and it could get hallucinations, they realized that people had to
be more vertical, to be specialized, to make it
specialized AI would work. And we were telling them that our system, it worked for contracts, it worked for reading CVs, it worked for marketing, it worked for all those tasks. And so they were like, when we said they asked, okay, give me an example. What can you do? I said, I can read a contract or write a contract. And they were like, okay, so you're legal tech. And I was like, well, no, because we are also doing other stuff. And doing all of that stuff is, is typically a red flag for a startup.
Yeah.
You have to focus on something, find your best possible client, and be vertical. Because this was the playbook from the SaaS era. You have to be
Yes, so
specialized
what
and
do you
vertical.
think of that actually? Because this is a discussion that they have often with other founders, and I mean, Maria and I also already think this, and tackling this question like, are we doing something vertical or horizontal is very difficult to explain to other people. And I like the idea that you compared it to SaaS business. How does it, what changed?
Well,
What happened?
something changed because the machine became intelligent. And that changes everything. Because now the topic we are focusing on is making it work, making it efficient. So this is like we're teaching it how to solve problems, how to work properly. So when I told you that we were putting all the context, the knowledge and the know-how from the client in a configuration file, this means that we invented a way to specialize the AI on the topic of the client. So we were like one level above the verticality. We made a verticality machine.
So you're saying B2B SaaS, like softwares, has to adapt to a certain business and to be specialized in each one of them to learn. But this new kind of AI, let's say, softwares have this ability to adapt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. It's possible that and so the result is that instead of having to work for 3 months to adapt to the use case of a client, we could do it in 3 days.
Okay.
And so we would be able to solve every vertical problem with that. So, but this was impossible to explain. It's too meta, you see.
Did it change since then? Because you started in 2023?
Yeah, December 2023. So really it's a 2024 company.
Is it evolving?
Yeah, the situation changed. For instance, it was in spring 2024 that Andrew Ng, he coined the term agentic workflow.
Yeah.
And so, it was really high profile because Andrew Ng is very well known in the field, and he was doing this presentation at Sequoia. Okay, so everyone was watching, and all the investors were watching, all my partners were watching, and they saw the guy explain that if you just give a task to the AI and ask it to, for instance, write a contract, you're asking it to do it in one go, and starting from the beginning to the end, and it can never press the backspace button, or the backspace key on the keyboard. And this is crazy to say that you have to write it from the beginning to the end without, thinking, without having a method. So he coined the term agentic workflow and said, we can take things step by step and review and recover from errors, etc. And then
like human.
Like just have to do the effort. It's like and where do you learn how to work? Well, you learn that at school. So you start by you're smart, and then you learn the method of each type of work.
Okay.
And so then I could say, Andrew Ng, he's saying that agentic workflow are important, and then everyone was like, agentic workflow is rock, and then I could say, this is what we're doing. This made everything easier, and then the agents came.
Makes sense. But then, still you have agentic workflows, but you decide what to build next. What is the next feature in Pipelex? How do you decide that?
Well, this is the hardest part of being a founder and a product in charge of product, which is my case. And typically, you look at all the ideas and you go at it with a machete and you say, I won't do that, I won't do that. So the job is to decide what not to do, to focus. And so if you want to know what to do, you have to look at what is your biggest problem as a startup and just do everything that's aligned with solving that problem. And for us, it was making our software usable and easy to get up and running and get results quickly. So we're focusing on features to make it easy to use. And then there's
No, actually, we didn't mention yet that Pipelex is open source, right?
Yeah.
So I think, maybe let's talk about this choice. Why open source? Because today the open source space is evolving very rapidly. Maybe you can talk us through this choice of making it open source and what does it imply on a product like this?
Well, it's actually an answer to the previous question already, because making it open source makes it more accessible, more usable for everyone. It's in particular for clients who are very touchy on security compliance, like large companies. I mentioned banks, they're pretty touchy. And so for them, if you come with a closed source product and you want them to use it, you have like at least 6 months of lobbying and hardware to just get through the door. And if you're a startup, if you're a small company, it's even more if you're not funded, VC funded, then they cannot buy product from you. It's impossible for them. If it's open source, you're just telling them, okay, you can look at the code, it's transparent, and you don't have to go through the purchasing process. You go directly to the engineer.
But I guess I will ask you the most direct question here. How do you make money with open source, and how does it become a business, like a scalable business?
Yeah, it's open source has now been around for a while and proven it can be successful in profitable businesses and valuable businesses in different ways. Typically, our business model is called open core, which means that the core technology is open source. What we have open source is a runtime library, Python library, that can run AI workflows, and we also have defined a language for those workflows. So this part is open source. But then we are going to make more software around that, and this
better version of features.
Better version with enterprise features is a classic case. Yeah. We also have planned a service to help you optimize your workflows. And when we mean optimize in AI, it's like divide the cost by 10 and making 10 times more reliable. Like go from 90% reliability to 99 and divide the cost by 10. So this is the kind of service that we're going to provide. They are not available yet, so we're not generating revenue. For now, we're focusing on the open source part. We want users, we want we have a community of users and developers around that. And this is already a way to build value, because we're solving people's problem and building a community, which is the best way to have a moat nowadays, because code is so easy to replicate. So community is harder, and branding, and
Makes sense. When we're talking about AI agents a lot, where do you see this field going, and how does Pipelex fit in this future?
Well, first it's a new field, and so there are new words, and people are conflating the words, and maybe don't have the same definition for them. So and it was really hard for us also. People asked us, okay, so are you building an agent or an agent system? And we're like, no, it's agentic workflow, but there's agent in the word. So at one point we decided to stop saying we were building agents. It's not an agent, it's just AI workflow, okay? That makes the AI work correctly. But then everyone's talking about agents. So let me just clarify what I see. I see that the basic common ground is that if you give a huge task to an AI with just one LLM call, for instance, it's not reliable. If you give it a lot of information or ask a complex question, it's not reliable. So you have to break it down in small steps. And so then there are two ways to break down to small steps. And they're not, they can work together, but one is the agents. And the agents are autonomous, and they take initiative. So when you give them a large task, they come up with a plan on the spot, and then they run the plan. So they are doing novel work for you, and if you have a new problem, they're very efficient for that. For instance, we use a lot of agents for coding, because you have a new feature or a bug, so you want the agent to find out the plan on the spot to solve that particular bug, because it's a new task that you're given.
So can you tell us about what you're building at Pipelex today? What excites you? What is going on?
Yeah, well, we're getting ready to launch Pipelex because we reached that point where it's very usable and easily usable by people who need to solve their use cases. And the way we did that is that we thought, okay, if you want to solve a problem, you need to write a workflow, a Pipelex pipeline, and this is there's a good method to write the workflow. So why not have a workflow write the workflow? So it sounds stupid, but
But it's not. Yeah. I mean, at least you don't have to learn a new language.
Yeah. So initially we got the agent from Cursor to write the workflow for us. This was a good proof of concept. We had this early in the summer, and it could write the workflow in 5 minutes. So we had to provide it tools to validate and correct its mistakes. But it was 5 minutes is and many mistakes. And so we thought we have a better way to do this using our own software to to build the workflow. So this is also what's called dogfooding in the startup scene, when you use your product yourself. And so we used Pipelex to write Pipelex. It's a pipeline that writes a pipeline. And so now it's capable of writing a pipeline in 60, 70 seconds by taking a natural language prompt, like I want to extract invoice and get all the information about the articles in the invoice and the employee, and it will output that in a structured way with a 5,
We're
6
very
steps
excited to
workflow.
see the live demo.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
It's
seen the live demo.
Oh, you saw it? I didn't yet.
I saw it. Yeah, I think there's.
yeah, it's you can see it on YouTube. Actually, we posted the demo, but this was like from an alpha version, so it's not open to the public yet. We'll have a beta soon.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Okay, and we're launching in San Francisco actually in 3 weeks. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
nice.
you didn't tell us that.
Yeah, yeah,
Really? Okay, well, we'll stay in touch and we'll see it.
yeah.
Thank you for watching the episode.
And thank you, Louis, for being with us. You can find the links to Louis' social media and to Pipelex below than this video. And please put a like, subscribe to our channel, and see you in the next one.